Now, at this very moment, what are you conscious of being? And of course, you're listening to this, so you're conscious that, okay, I'm observing this seeming man speaking. However, when we really know that nothing, and I just got a 20% low battery, low battery notification. However, I'm not going to stop the video that is ongoing. The never-ending motion picture as this seeming individual's consciousness is ever outpictured. That is the world around us, our consciousness. There is no separateness. That which I am conscious of being now is that which appears without, seeming to appear out there. But really, it's a mere reflection of what's in here, of what I am. And thus, everything that shows up in this world around us is a messenger. We could say is an angel of the Lord. Because that which I am conscious of being now is the Lord. And everything which appears in the world around in this present moment, which is everlasting, is that which I am conscious of being outpictured. And thus, nothing is impure. Nothing is unclean except for that which one judges as unclean. Who am I to judge? Who am I to condemn anything? There's no room for condemnation in anywhere in creation. Who am I to condemn a thought that shows up in consciousness? I simply persist. Right? I simply observe that thought. But wait, who's observing the observer? Now there's a question to which there really is no verbal answer. That answer is discovered amidst the silence between the thoughts, amidst this ongoing eternal process. And of course, all that shows up in the world is simply concepts of which one's consciousness is conscious of being the Father within us, that which I am that is, that be for all eternity, that which He is conscious of being, He which is not in the sky but is ever within us and around us in our immediate surroundings, environment, which is never separate from that which I am. Now we wanna be super conscious when we use those two words, I am, because we are attaching our awareness of being on something. When we follow that statement, I am, with something, with a thought, with a concept, with words, I am attaching my awareness, that which I am conscious of being in this moment now, to something. And thus, if I follow that statement, I am, with something negative, or something that I do not desire for myself, and thus for anyone else, because really, that which I desire or want for myself, I want for everybody else, right? That's just common sense. That's just super obvious. I don't want something at the expense of somebody else, because that state of consciousness is dwelling in a state of illusory separateness. But that which I want for this one, I want for everyone. And thus, the world is ever harmonious. There is no discrepancy, there is no inharmony. There is no separateness, because I am only conscious of that which is holy and righteous and pure, and I don't, as a person, claim to be righteous, because we could say that would be vain. And wait, that would be. Would is a hypothetical. When I say I am that, the word that in that statement, I am that, is a claim that I would be something. But the second I am that I am, that second I am, is a claim to victory. Really ponder that. Go back and listen to that. Because that which is expressed in a seeming sequential sequence is actually an eternal nowness. There is no sequence, any conception or projection of time is an illusion. Because that which I am there's no need to finish that statement. Unless, of course, there is a desire within you which naturally will express. And it will. And it must. Because that which you are conscious of being, whatever desire, is already manifest. Because creation is finished. The works are done. You need not worry about the how. You need not worry about the reason. Because the works are done. Let go of the how. You only need to be conscious of being whatever now. Whatever you wish to express. Whatever that which the Father wishes to express through you. And I say that perhaps you view the Father as being separate, but really, it is within you and all around you. And when I say it, I really mean I. I am everything that is around me. I am the self with a capital S. Everything is the self. Myself. Right? Do you feel that? When you open your eyes and you're observing the seeming surroundings, do you really deeply feel that I am that which surrounds me? Because when you feel that, you can't not be joyful. And sometimes there's so much joy within you that you don't know what to do. It wants to express, it wants to come out. And this seeming individual can't seem to contain it. It just got to express itself somehow. And perhaps you really want to sit in meditation, but there's so much energy within you that, man, it's got to express itself somehow. And thus I say this. And I really hope you get this. You understand this. Not that there's fundamentally really anything to get. There's nothing to get out of life. Because you are life. Anything that you try to get is already you. You're already that. I am. Right? Simply take your attention away from anything that you do not wish to express, that you do not want to be conscious of being. And place your attention on that vision or that ideal, that desire, whatever it is, which you wish to express and see manifest in the world all around us. I could say in the world all around you, but from a certain state of consciousness, there is no you, there is no other. Because self with a capital S is the other. As I said, that seeming other is simply a messenger. Telling you, hey, you're on the path. You're headed in the right direction. And thus, this synchronicity is synonymous as this eternal ongoing process. And the synchronicity, the miraculous, manifests effortlessly in the world all around us. And it's continuous, and it happens so much that you're like, wow. You just feel that the Lord is constantly talking to you. And He is. I am. Never failing. And although I feel that, I know that, I am that, I can express forever. However, now's the time. At least as far as this video, that I'm done speaking. Like I said, and just to be aware of every single movement, every single gesture, your posture, your spine, the altar of that eternal energy, the divine, within you, me, and all of humanity, synonymously, throughout all eternity. As I hold the phone now, I feel the pulse in the hand. And you can be aware of that pulse. Hold your fingers like this and feel that heartbeat, that pulse in your fingertips. And like so, like this, you can be ever aware, ever conscious of the presence. Biologically, you're aware of the blood flow, but what is that within us which allows this blood to flow? What is that energy within us that's when the physical body returns to the earth? Because if we're honest, all that is physical turns to dust. What is that within us which persists, which continues everlastingly beyond the physical body? And when we are aware of this physical mortality, naturally there is something within us which yearns to, which longs to seek itself, to realize itself, to become ever more aware of itself. I'm sure you've heard the quote, the universe, you are the universe. Becoming progressively more conscious of itself. You could say they're infinite levels of awareness, degrees of consciousness. In the Bible, it says there's many mansions. And yes, I'm aware that I said I'm done talking, but I guess I'm not. Because we can be in a state of silence, there's no thoughts, or we can be outwardly speaking. Either which way, it's the Lord's word that's being spoken. And thus you're blessed. And there's nothing you can do about it. You're blessed whether you want to be blessed or not. You could say, I love you, whether you want me to love you or not. There's nothing you can do about it. How you like that? You want to be my enemy? You want to be somebody's enemy? Well, what if they don't accept that? What if they say, hey, you can identify with that. You can think you're that. But I don't accept it. I love you, however you are. However you show up. Whatever shows up in awareness in the world around us. I'm conscious that, wow, this is the presence in us. I love this. For there is no that. Again, I am that. The word that in that statement is a hypothetical would. It's like, I would be this, but that second I am is a statement of victory, of being victorious. And you are. It's done now because creation is finished. And you don't really even need me to say this. I'm just showing up in your awareness, which is not separate from mine, to tell you, hey, you're on the path. You're right where you need to be. There is no coincidence. You're seeing this for a reason. And that reason is really beyond reason. It's beyond logic, beyond planning and thinking about how will this be done. Not that, sometimes it isn't beneficial to plan. Of course, some planning can be beneficial. However, there's a deeper part of us which simply knows. The heart knows. The mind likes to sometimes overthink. And hey, I'm not perfect either. But at the same time, I am. Because that seeming imperfection, perhaps in the world around us, we see something is imperfect. Actually, that is simply a reflection. Why do I see this as an imperfection? Who am I to express any condemnation, right? So, we've all heard this, right? That I'm perfectly imperfect. But the half-unfolded flower is a perfectly half-unfolded flower. It's right where it needs to be. It's It's expressing itself effortlessly. It is its essence. It's all part of the process. Whatever seeming point in sequence along a seeming linear time track, in actuality, is eternally connected. All emotions and events that appear in awareness are forever expressing a profound sense of connectedness, and thus bliss, because there's the state of ever being conscious, of transcendence, simultaneous groundedness. I am in this world, but not of it, because I am aware that truly I am pure, unconditioned, eternal consciousness, and that which surrounds this must necessarily, physically turn to dust. However, that which I am conscious of being is continuous. It's forever. And thus, I am never caught up, entangled, identified with that which is transitory, temporary. You could say physically, that which appears in the environment is transient. However, its essence, when you see beyond the surface, is eternal. And thus, the paradox is that the so-called material, temporary world is actually eternal. It's actually spiritual. And thus there is no separateness. There is no difference. Except if one sees that as themselves in their own consciousness. If that's their self-conception. And I just got another notification about 10% low battery. Hey, that's okay. Because I am eternity. And thus, this energy is inexhaustible, is eternal, is immortal, at least fundamentally. You could say that physically, this body has a certain amount of time and energy. But when we're aware that, hey, that which is within this body is eternity, is an eternal energy, which is allowing this one and everyone to function optimally in the world all around me. I am a strong tower standing tall within me, being reflected as everything and everybody, and uplifting the world and humanity all around me. Then you live harmoniously. And there's nothing anybody in the world can do about it. Because they must necessarily reflect your state of consciousness. And thus you operate from a continuous state of non-resistance. And you find equal pleasure in every circumstance. Because there is no separateness. Whatever you're doing, you're always conscious of being. And thus, between doing and being, there is no difference. Whether you're simply sitting in silence, in meditation, or you're engaged in vigorous action. Whatever you're doing along the spectrum, whatever vibration, whatever frequency you're currently embodying. You can't get around being. You're always that which you're conscious of being. Right now, I am conscious that I am verbally expressing. However, I am simultaneously conscious of not making a mistake just there, not stuttering, but that I am the silence which allows this outward vibration to express itself. You can be aware of many things at the same time. Simply sit. Practice the presence, practice stillness. And as you sit there, you'll, wow, this awareness. I am aware of everything. I used an analogy previously that, hey, I could be sitting in this house right now, currently standing, and I'm aware of everything going on in this house. But then, hey, wait a second. I practiced this, let's say, for a week. And that second week, wow, I'm aware of what's going on in the whole street. Not just in this house, but the whole street. And then the third week, wow, I'm aware of what's going on in this whole city. Simultaneously. Wow, just imagine. Just imagine. And like so, you can be aware of all of creation. Which, try to imagine this, is boundless, is infinite. Wow, what's there out in the sky? Simply go out and observe the moonlight. What is that? Satellite. Really, it's a UFO, right? We can label it a satellite, but what is it?